conference is now being recorded.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ugass versus Ramos media conference call. Your host for today is Ray Flores. Ray, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, operator. I want to thank the media for joining us wherever you are around the world. I hope all of you and your loved ones are safe and sound during this worldwide pandemic that we are currently going through. But we are very excited for a big night of boxing this upcoming Sunday, September 6th. That is FOX PBC Fight Night on Fox FS1 and FOX Deportes, coming to you live for the third straight week from the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles. Today we're going to hear fighters from that are involved in the main event, as Fox PBC Fight Night is headlined by top welterweight contender, the Cuban bronze medalist Yordenis Ugás, battling the hard-hitting Abel Ramos for the vacant WBA Welterweight Championship. Broadcast will start 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. Also will feature undefeated sensational prospect Jesús Ramos, who happens to be the nephew of Abel Ramos, against fellow unbeaten Esteban García. In the co-main event, also making his return to Fox, will be rising prospect Omar Juárez from down in Texas. He will take on Dakota Linger in a special matchup on the telecast. Now, preceding Fox PBC Fight Night, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time, we have a schedule of outstanding matchups, including unbeaten Cody Crowley taking on Josh Torres, plus Batir Akhmedov will square off against Ray Perez. Now, without question, this promotion has been working very hard for many, many years, and they have really been entrenched in helping to make sure that events go off during this time of COVID-19 with the PBC bubble on different parts of the country. Please welcome the Vice President, the hardworking, the talented of TGB Promotions. Here is Brittany Houston-Brown.
Thanks, Ray. Hey, guys, it's been a great run for us so far. We're looking to finish the 6 week straight of fights with a banger. We're excited for the return of the extremely talented Ugass. He's taking on Abel Ramos, who I've personally never seen in a boring fight. He always brings his best, and I have a feeling he'll be doing that same thing this Sunday. So tune in, start your holiday, day off, weekend, Sunday fun day with us. It will be a show you don't want to miss. I'm going to keep it short, Ray. I'll send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Brittany. Yes, it is a special Sunday night edition of PBC Fight Night live on Fox. As we are here in the United States, we will be celebrating Labor Day weekend, and we are privileged now to be joined alongside by a man fighting out of Casa Grande, Arizona. He is the uncle of 19-year-old Jesús Ramos, who incidentally will be involved in our co-main event. He defeated Francisco Santana and Jimmy Williams back in 2019 last year. Used to campaign at 140 pounds. He fought the likes of Maurice Hooker to a draw, challenge Regis Prograis and Ivan Baranchik in February before a tremendous crowd at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville on the undercard. It was the co-feature of Caleb Plant's victory over Vincent Weigand Boots. This man got a victory over Brian Perella, stopping him in the final moments of the final round. And he was actually trailing on the scorecards, needed the knockout to get the W, and lo and behold, he made it happen. His record, 26 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Brittany mentioned he has a fan-friendly style. He's aggressive. He comes forward. This guy has never been in a boring fight that I've ever seen. You know he's going to bring his A game on Sunday night. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Abel Ramos. Abel.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? I just wanted to say that I'm excited. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. If you go ahead and tell us how training camp has been in your opening comments.
It's been going good, man. We had a great camp. We went down to Omaha, Nebraska, and we linked up with Terrence Crawford and his team of strength and conditioning coach Jamie Belt, and a nutritionist for this camp, man. We're extremely prepared, and we're ready to give a great fight Sunday night.
At this time now, we are going to turn it over to the operator for the media. If you have any questions for the always entertaining Abel Ramos as he gets set to collide against Yordenis Ugás in the main event of PBC Fight Night live on Fox. Operator?
Yes, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press *1 on your telephone keypad. Again, that's star 1 on your telephone keypad. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, that's star 1 on your telephone keypad. Does look like our first question will come from Jeremy Harridges of fansided.com.
Hey, thank you, Abel, for taking the time to talk today. You've been in against some huge, big names in there, whether it's Prograis, Hooker, Jamal James. Where does Ugass factor into those names? How would you rank them alongside those other fighters?
He's definitely up there, man. I think those fighters, you know, the ones you mentioned, you know, they have already become world champions, you know. They're so I think he's definitely up there. He's one of the top welterweights right now, and you know we're expecting nothing less, man. Nothing but the best Ugass.
You know, he's a lot of people have talked about your fight against Brian Perella. Do you feel like it's a double-edged sword, the fact that the fight was stopped by the referee, or do you feel like you don't get enough credit for that knockout?
You know, I think everybody has a job in the ring, man, and my job was to get the win on any means necessary, and at the time, you know, I was trailing behind the scorecards. You know, I needed a knockout, and you know, I think I went out there to do what I had to do, and the referee did what he had to do.
Last question. Ugass has looked more like an action fighter recently. Do you anticipate more of a boxing match or more of a brawl in there?
I think we're gonna see a little bit of both, man. I think Ugass is more of a counter puncher, you know. And in my opinion, he waits for you to make mistakes. So you know, I think it's gonna be a little bit of a mix of both.
Thank you so much, Abel, and best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, our next question will come from Keith Idek of BoxingScene.com. But before I turn it over to Keith, I want to go ahead and remind participants how to join the queue. Again, that's star 1 for questions. Star 1 for questions. Keith, your line is now open.
Hey, Abel, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man, thanks. I was just speaking to Yordenis yesterday, and he said that he thought that, and these are his words, he said that he thought you got lucky at the end of the fight because the referee stopped the fight with 1 second left in it. I was just wondering what your perspective, one, on him saying that is, and then kind of when you've gone back and watched it, you know, what you kind of saw happening there at the end when Jack Reese stopped the fight.
Yeah, man, that's his opinion, you know. I think, you know, Jack Reese, before that fight, you know, he was very clear to me. I think, you know, he said the same thing to Perella, you know. He said that he told us very clearly, you know, if you're hurt, I don't care the time, I don't care what round it is. If you're hurt and you don't respond to my commands, I'm stopping the fight. And, you know, he was very clear, and I think, to me, you know, a referee that puts his rules and stands by them, you know, that's a great referee. So, you know, to me, you know, I did my job and he did his job that night.
Well, did you watch it when you went back and watched it? I'm just curious what you thought, because it looked to me like Perella, when he made that first step, when he was supposed to walk in a straight line, that he kind of either misstepped or, I wouldn't say stumbled, but he misstepped a little. I think that's why Jack Reese stopped the fight. How did you see that?
Yeah, I remember him calling him over. He said, come to me, and that's when he took that little misstep and just kept walking forward. So, you know, those are the things that Jack Reese was very clear about. You know, if you don't obey my commands, you know, I'm stopping the fight. And that's exactly what he did, man.
Okay. Abel, I just have another question for you about I don't know how closely you watched the fight, you know, since it happened, but I was wondering what your opinion of Ugass's fight against Porter was. Did you think that he won, or how did you look at that fight?
I think it was a close fight, but I think Porter pulled it off. Porter pulled it off, and I think all these comments he's been saying, you know, I think he's still I think he's still mad. You know, he thinks he should have gotten that knockdown, and Jack Reese didn't count it. But you can see it clearly in the replay, it wasn't a knockdown. You know, so I think he's just he's a little bit caught up on that.
Do you think that he's overlooking you in some sense?
I don't really know, man. I don't really know. You know, that's his decision, and if he is, man, that's better for me.
Okay, great. Thanks for your time, Abel.
Thank you.
All righty. Our next question will come from Kenneth Buhari of PBC. Kenneth, your line is now open.
Hey, Abel, thank you so much for taking out the time to speak to us today.
No, thank you, guys.
First question for you is, was your training hindered by the pandemic at all in terms of getting sparring and so forth?
Actually not, man. I think I had one of the best training camps I ever had, if not the best. You know, I think we had everything. You know, we had the strength and conditioning coach, and we had a nutritionist for this fight. So for me, you know, nothing really changed. We had great sparring as well, and like I said, I think this has been like probably the best training camp I've ever had.
You mentioned the new strength and conditioning coach, who I believe you said works with Terrence Crawford. Were you down there working with Crawford as well, or did he come out to help you?
Yeah, he was out there. He doesn't have a fight lined up, you know, so he wasn't there every day, but you know, he would stop by the gym, you know, every now and then, and we'd get some work in with him. And you know, it was good. It was a great experience. Maurice Hooker was actually there too. You know, we got to work with him. We had a lot of good sparring.
Now, Ugass's comments, you know, regarding you getting lucky and so forth, I'm sure you've heard it time and time again. Does that bother you at all, or maybe even give you some extra motivation?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all, man. He's entitled to his own opinion, man, and whatever it is, man, he has to face me Sunday night, and that's the bottom line.
Well, sounds good. Thank you so much, and best of luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Abe, I have a question for you in regards to going back to your last matchup with Brian Perella. When you look back at that matchup, can you tell us about going ahead and getting that like home run shot, almost like a walk-off, to be able to gain the W and propel yourself and get you into this position?
Yeah, man, it was a crazy feeling, you know, to have a fight, you know, that you're losing, you know, get the knockout right at the end, right at the last second. I think it was an emotional moment for me, and it just proved to me that, you know, I can change the fight, you know, no matter the round or if I'm falling behind, you know, I have the power to change the fight at any moment.
Also, in regards to your adversary, Yordenis Ugás, you know, what do you think a victory like this would do for you moving forward, you know, when it comes to the ultra-competitive welterweight division where there's so many big names, and that would open up some significant financial opportunities for you?
Yeah, man, and that's how I'm taking this fight. You know, this is the great opportunity for me, and if I give a victory over Ugass would be, like you said, you know, it would set me up to fight against the other top fighters in the welterweight division.
What makes you get involved in so many exciting fights? I mean, you've been in there against, I called your fight when you fought Jamal James in Minneapolis, so very close fight, entertaining matchup. Your fight against Prograis, your win over Brian Perella. Why are you always involved in these exciting fights? Is it just something that's in you as a fighter to want to mix it up and engage in these fun affairs for the fight fans?
Yeah, man. I think that's always been me. You know, I've never taken any fight lightly. You know, I always prepare myself, and I always go in with that mentality. You know, that I'm gonna give it my best every time. Every time I'm gonna give it my best, and if they hit me once, I'm gonna go and hit them twice. You know, it's just something that I have inside of me, and I think it shows in every fight I've had.
Well, excellent. Abel, if you have any final closing comments for the media as you get set for your big matchup this Sunday against Yordenis Ugás live on Fox Premier Boxing Champions, promoted by TGP Promotions this Sunday from the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles. Abel, final comments.
Final comments is I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everyone for taking the time for the interview, and I just want to say that Sunday night is going to be an action-packed fight, and you guys don't want to miss this one.
Thank you very much to Abel Ramos joining us. We appreciate the time for him. And now we get set to welcome in the man who will be standing across the ring from Abel Ramos this Sunday, PBC on Fox, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. Before that fight on FS1, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time. This man, Olympic bronze medalist from Santiago, Cuba, now living in Miami, most recently having bounced back after a narrow title defeat at the hands of Sean Porter. He halted Mike Dallas Jr. in February. Before that, he was victorious over Omar Figueroa. That was on the co-main event of Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman last July at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Now, prior to his matchup against Sean Porter, he was in the midst of an 8-fight win streak that included victories over the unbeaten Jamal James, Brian Perello. Also, he defeated veteran contenders Tomas Delorme and Ray Robinson. His record, 25 wins, 12 of those coming by way of knockout against 4 defeats. He's always in shape. He's always prepared. He has such a high ring IQ, and also an entertaining fighter as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Yordenis Ugás. And also we have Martin Bacher to translate for Yordenis. Martin, if you can ask Yordenis for opening comments.
Hola, Yordenis. Thank you very much for your introduction there. And bueno, Yordenis, contanos un poco de tus comentarios iniciales, tus sensaciones sobre esta gran pelea contra Abel que se avecina dentro de 72 horas.
No, contento, emocionado. Voy a mi segunda oportunidad de campeonato del mundo. Más de 10 años persiguiendo esto, desde que debuté en los profesionales. Y siento que voy a una gran pelea, una pelea competitiva contra un gran peleador. Y estoy feliz esperando ansiosamente el domingo.
Well, I'm happy, I'm anxious, I'm excited, all in a good way to be ready to fulfill this dream of mine that I've had since I started boxing, which is having a shot at a world title. I'm sure that Abel Ramos is going to be a competitive opponent that's going to give the best of himself, but I am ready to step into the ring, give the best of myself, and go after that dream that I've always had since I turned pro.
Okay, now I will turn it over to the operator. If the media has any questions for the Cuban bronze medalist, Yordenis Ugás, the welterweight contender who is looking to defeat Abel Ramos this upcoming Sunday. Operator?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes, sir. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to press *1 on our telephone keypad for questions. Again, that's *1 on our telephone keypad. All right. Looks like our first question will come from George Ebro of Miami Herald. George, your line is now open.
Hi, I'm going to speak in Spanish. Yordenis, felicidades. Yordenis, yo creo que tú vas a ser el primer, si Dios mediante, el primer campeón welter cubano desde Mantequilla, Nápoles. ¿Qué significa esto para ti? Yo sé que tú eres un amante de la historia del boxeo y sobre todo del boxeo cubano. ¿Qué significa esto para ti, Yordenis?
No, significa mucho.
Yordenis, un segundito, antes de responder voy a traducir la pregunta. Before Yordenis answers, I'm gonna translate the question. Jorge was asking Yordenis about how it feels for him to have the potential to be the first welterweight world champion since Mantequilla Nápoles, his butter Nápoles, was in 1975. So go ahead, bueno, Yordenis, ahora sí, responde y disculpa la interrupción.
Sí, no solamente a nivel personal, más de 10 años buscando esto, sino también a la historia de mi país, de Cuba, que último campeón de peso welter fue hace 49 años, que ganó un campeonato con Mantequilla Nápoles, una leyenda para nosotros los cubanos, y estoy súper contento y emocionado de que el domingo puedo convertirme en el primer campeón así, después de 49 años que ganó un campeonato peso welter, súper emocionado de poder hacer algo especial el domingo.
Gracias, hermano.
This isn't just my dream. This is the dream of an entire country that has waited for almost half a century to be able to see a Cuban welterweight fighter crowned at the top of the division. So that's why it's a communal mission, a communal dream for me and to represent my country in a way that will make them proud and hopefully happy to see another champion crowned for the first time in almost 50 years.
All right. Well, George has no further questions. I will first re-prompt everyone. Once again, that is *1 on your telephone keypad if you would like to ask a question. *1 on your telephone keypad. And our next question will come from Jeremy Harriges at fansided.com.
Hi, Yordenis. You've talked about the last fight that Ramos had against Brian Perella. How would you assess him based on how he performed against Perella?
Bueno, Yordenis, tú has hablado previamente sobre la última pelea que tuvo Ramos contra Perella. Él quiere saber más que nada tu análisis, tu evaluación de lo que fue esa pelea de cara a tu enfrentamiento de este domingo.
Una pelea, pienso que Ramos es un tremendo guerrero, un peleador fuerte y que siempre trae buenas peleas. También he dicho que nunca debió ganar su última pelea. Eso es una verdad, porque faltaba un segundo y a la casualidad que el mismo árbitro que también tuvo su participación en la pelea mía contra Porte también, pero no le quito nada a Ramos. Ramos es tremendo peleador, competitivo, un peleador que viene a pelear fuerte. Y yo me emocioné cuando supe que el campeonato iba a ser contra él, porque sé que va a ser tremenda pelea. Y te digo, pero la verdad es esa, que él nunca debió ganar su última pelea. Felicidades que esta oportunidad se la ganó en el último segundo de su última pelea. Y nada, eso fue la cosa que vi.
Well, what Ramos is to me is a tremendous competitive fighter that never gives up, and I want to congratulate him for having won that fight at the last second, a fight that he earned, despite the fact that maybe the ref played his part by stopping the fight in the last second, but regardless of that, he earned every bit of it. And when I heard that I was going to fight against Abel Ramos, I was so excited because I know it's going to be a great fight that the fans are going to love. So bottom line, Ramos is a great fighter that is going to help us bring a great spectacle for the fans this weekend.
Final question. I know a lot of people like to talk about age and prime and things of that nature. Is it possible, based on your last performances, you've looked excellent, that at 34 years old, you are in your prime or your athletic prime right now?
Hay mucha gente a la que le gusta hablar de cómo alguien está en la plenitud, pero en ciertas edades. Pero en tu caso, considerando tu rendimiento más reciente, ¿sentís que a los 34 años estás en tu plenitud?
Sí, pienso que estoy en mi prime ahora mismo, 24 años. Pienso que estoy en mi prime, siento que estoy en mi mejor momento. En mi mejor momento y las cosas, como dice, ayer ya di el peso para mi pelea, todo, la preparación, todo. Pienso que viene una etapa, lo mejor el domingo, a partir del domingo viene una etapa, lo mejor de Yordenis Ugás, y estoy muy orgulloso de lo que estoy logrando. Esta edad es una edad perfecta.
Absolutely. I feel better than ever at 34 years old. My preparation could not have been better. I feel great at this weight, and really, I feel ready to put on a show on Sunday, and ready to show the fans that I am in the best moment of my career so far.
Thank you so much, and best of luck come Sunday night.
Que muchas gracias y que mucha suerte el domingo.
Okay.
All right. Our next question will come from Gail Falkenthal of Communities Digital News. Gail, your line is now open.
Thank you very much. Yordenis, earlier you mentioned that it's been many years since Cuba had a world champion. Does that put extra pressure on you for this fight?
Yordenis, mencionabas anteriormente sobre la sequía de títulos welter para el boxeo cubano. ¿Sentís que eso te pone una presión adicional en tus hombros?
No, al contrario, me da motivación, Yo he estado compitiendo de los 10 años, ganando campeonatos de los 10 años. Esto es una motivación que yo tengo, hacer algo especial el domingo, y una motivación grandísima, estoy bien motivado y bien contento, bien decidido para hacer algo especial el domingo.
Pressure? No pressure. It's the complete opposite. To me, it's absolute and total motivation. I've been fighting since I was 10 years old. I have overcome so many obstacles, and all I want to do right now is make my country proud. So I'm ready to take up that mantle and show my best effort this Sunday night.
Yordenis, do you think that judges around the world appreciate the Cuban style as much as they should? You know, sometimes the fights seem very close. The Cuban fighters seem that they've won, and they do not always get the decision. What is your opinion?
¿Sentís que la gente, los jueces, aprecian el estilo boxístico cubano? Porque según lo que ella dice, lo que ella ve, es que a veces los boxeadores cubanos parece como que pelearon mejor, pero se quedan cortos, no ganan la pelea que quizás merecieron ganar. ¿Crees que quizás el boxeo cubano está siendo menospreciado a nivel mundial?
Bueno, algunas peleas, somos un grupo pequeño. Recuerda que nosotros los cubanos tenemos un techo. Los cubanos tenemos boxeo profesional. Yo tuve que irme de mi país y estar 9 años sin ver a mi familia para poder ser un profesional. Y entonces pienso que el grupito lo poco que somos, hemos hecho muchas cosas grandes. Y estoy bien orgulloso de todo lo que hemos logrado nosotros.
Well, you gotta remember this. We are a small contingent, a small group of Cuban boxers. And within that small group, I am convinced that we do an outstanding job, regardless of what others might think. Because, you know what? In the end, I had to leave my country and not see my family for so many years to be able to be a professional boxer. So, in a way, as Cuban boxers, we have a ceiling, and it is our job to shatter that ceiling.
Thank you so much, and good luck to you on Sunday.
Que muchas gracias y que muy buena suerte para ti este domingo. Thank you, Gail.
Okay, gracias, agradecido.
He says thank you very much.
All right. Our next question will come from Kenneth Buhari of PBC.
Hey, Yordenis, can you tell us what you learned from the close decision loss to Sean Porter last year?
Kenneth quiere saber qué aprendimos sobre tu derrota muy angosta, muy cercana contra Porter el año pasado.
¿Qué aprendí yo en lo personal?
Sí, o sea, ¿qué conclusiones sacaste de esa derrota tan agónica?
Que no puedo, que ahí me conformé, ahí pensé que había hecho lo suficiente para ganar mi campeonato el año pasado, y entonces esa fue la experiencia que saqué, que siempre hay que hacerlo un poco más. Uno no puede, la confianza, uno siempre tiene que atacar, y y siempre tiene que ser, nunca puede conformarse con el que ya ganó la pelea. Eso fue pasó el año pasado, y esa es la gran experiencia que saqué de esa noche.
The biggest lesson I had from that fight was that I realized I got overconfident. I got cocky. I thought I had it in the bag, and in reality, it wasn't that way. So that lesson taught me that I always have to be attacking, never assuming anything, and going for it all the time, regardless of how the fight might look at the moment. Always attacking, always going for the knockout, regardless of how the fight might look.
So with that in mind, does that mean that he's looking to make a statement on Sunday? Are you looking to get the knockout, or is it just about getting the win?
Habiendo dicho eso, el domingo, ¿vas a ir en busca del knockout sí o sí, o esto es simplemente de ganar como sea?
No, ganar como sea. Soy un peleador fuerte, Abel también un peleador fuerte, y lo mío es ganar como sea. Vamos a hacer lo que hacemos siempre, hacerlo un poco mejor, y vamos a llevarle todo hasta el límite. Vamos a llevarle todo hasta el límite.
It's about winning, no matter what, regardless of how we get there. Abel is a very strong fighter, and he's gonna test me, and I am willing to go to my limit in order to get that victory, regardless of the method that I have to employ to achieve my goal. Knockout, judges, whatever. I'm ready.
Thank you, Yordenis. All the best to you on Sunday.
All right.
Okay, gracias, Yordenis.
Appreciate Yordenis Ugás with his time as he gets set to collide against Abel Ramos in the main event of PBC Live on Fox this upcoming Sunday night. Liberty Weekend here in the United States, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. For that fight on FS1, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time. Martin, if you could ask Yordenis for final comments as he prepares for his big matchup.
Yordenis, comentarios finales, algo que quieras que sepa la gente, los periodistas, lo que sea de cara a esta pelea de domingo.
No, gracias a todos, que no dejen de ver, va a ser una tremenda pelea, que no dejen de verla, y va a salir un nuevo campeón del mundo, va a ser algo bien emocionante.
Just thank you so much, everybody, for joining the conference call today, and don't forget to tune in on Sunday. It's going to be one hell of an exciting fight, and bottom line, a new world champion will be crowned, and that can't be any more exciting, so looking forward to it.
Thank you very much, Yordenis. Thank you very much, Martin. Thank you to Abel Ramos. Thank you for all of the media for joining us. We're in the midst of 6 straight weeks of Premier Boxing Champions. Don't forget this Sunday night, PBC on Fox. Yordenis Ugás, Abel Ramos for the WBA Welterweight Championship. Thank you